Hi, I'm Alex, welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. So it's been a while since I've spoken about Golden Nugget Online Gaming on here, but given the release of the Q4 financials, now means it's probably quite a good time to give an update. In this video, we're going to address the real developments within the company, the Q4 financials, the expansion into new states, my strategy for going forward, and answering the question that I seem to be getting all the time now: have I sold my investment in Golden Nugget Online Gaming? If you're interested in this stock, then this is definitely one you don't want to miss. Again, in this video, I'm asking you for the same favour again. Please, in our mission in helping the algorithm understand that not all content needs to be clickbaity, please can you smash the like button. The algorithm loves clickbaity titles and thumbnails, but it's misleading and not good for the overall investing community on YouTube. And oftentimes it's just a waste of your precious time. It doesn't need to be that. I've asked this favour of you in the last 3 videos now, and the response has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We have an amazing like to view ratio and the videos are finally being seen by more people. That's thanks to everyone hitting the like button, so it's really appreciated. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out the Patreon if you want to be involved in live video calls, private Discord and other content. And as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is purely for educational and entertainment purposes only, but let's get straight into it. So firstly, before we go into the Q4 results, let's talk about some of the big news recently. 2 developments, both of which have significant implications for the value going forward, and both of which are focused on the expansion of its current activities into 2 new states, New York and Virginia. So taking Virginia first, earlier this month the company was awarded one of a small number of sports gaming licenses in the state. Currently they're going through the testing process with the regulator and key parties, and they expect to begin taking bets in the summer. This is great news, and as a reminder, this was not one of the states which was outlined as part of the original strategy in the original investor presentation which they released in June. This therefore represents an increase in the potential addressable market for Golden Nugget Online Gaming, and is an entry into the 12th largest state by population in the US. Now this is clearly great news, and I would have expected that to have a bigger impact on the stock price than it has, but anyone familiar with Golden Nugget Online Gaming and who's been around for a while, especially from the early days, knows to expect the unexpected with this stock. While it may not drive an increase in valuation immediately, this is a good development, and in time it will drive an increase in valuation and as a result its stock price. Certainly, by the time this is reflected in the company's financials, both in terms of revenue growth and increased EBITDA, this should definitely be appreciated by the market. That GNOG had signed an agreement with Tioga Downs. Now, Tioga Downs is a physical casino in New York, and GNOG entered into an agreement to operate the online casino gaming activities for a 20-year period and structured as a percentage of revenue share basis. Now, New York is the 4th largest state in the US by population, and its gaming market at maturity is estimated to be worth around $2 billion. Assuming GNOG achieves a market share of 15% in New York, as it currently has in New Jersey, this represents a potential $300 million increase in the potential annual revenue. New York was not listed as one of the states which GNOG would target in its original investor presentation, so this is another outperformance of that investment case which we all invested into GNOG on the premise of. Similarly to the Virginia news, this did not have the positive impact on the stock price which one would have expected, but again, once this starts being recorded as revenue, it will be recognised in the market and we should see the uplift in valuation then. Now the next thing to discuss before we go into the financials is to answer the question that I'm getting increasingly often: have you sold your GNOG stock? Now it should be pretty obvious to most people that I believe this company is still fundamentally undervalued, now even more so than when I first started talking about it in the summer of 2020. No, I haven't sold any of my stock, I have no plans to, and this is a long-term investment for me. I want to see GNOG enter new states as they legalise and regulate online gambling, and I want to see them establish market-leading positions in these states. We need to be patient. Clearly the management team are doing a good job of executing on this strategy, and so we need to be patient as this takes time and doesn't happen overnight. Now, let's jump into the Q4 financials, which were released after market close today. In short, they're good. For Q4, GNOG delivered $23 million in net gaming revenues and $6.2 million in adjusted EBITDA. For the full year, it delivered net gaming revenues of $91.1 million, representing a growth of 64% on 2019, and adjusted EBITDA of $28.9 million, a growth of 62% on 2019. Now, for anyone who has seen the previous GNOG videos on this channel, you'll know that this is pretty much in line with the predictions we made in early February. Personally, I'm pleased with this. I think it's a great result. Let's think back to the original investor presentation too. We invested into GNOG on the expectation of it generating revenues of $86 million. This is an outperformance of that investment case by 6%. Now this is important because it's not often we see companies outperform their plan like this. In fact, the majority of SPACs significantly underperform this plan, So that is important to remember and is clearly a good sign. The company has also upwardly revised its guidance for 2021 to between $130 million and $145 million in revenue. Again, in the previous video, we predicted a 2021 revenue of around $135 million, and so it's great to see this is also in line. In short, this is great news, and it's a superior investment case to the one which people were making their original investment decision in Golden Nugget Online Gaming based on from that June 2020 presentation. Now, there are two other specific things to address in relation to these results, and this is in no particular order. Number one is that the initial operations in Michigan, where the company's recently started operating, are showing very strong momentum, and the growth is happening much faster and it's capturing much more market share and more aggressively than it did when it first expanded in New Jersey. This is a great sign, especially as we know more states are going to come online this year as well. The model's now refined and working, and they'll be much quicker at delivering results in these new states going forward. It's also important to remember that these results we're seeing now, the ones they released as the Q4, do not include any of the numbers from Michigan, as it was not operational then. Now, number two, the second point to talk about, is around the customer mix, and that's very good. The average revenue per user growth is consistent, and there's strong loyalty amongst its returning customers. At the same time, GNOG's proven effective at winning new customers, and again, this is great news. In summary, I'm happy with the results, and I believe this further underpins the argument that GNOG is undervalued versus its peers. More and more, it appears that it's being valued in line with its European peers, which fundamentally isn't right. The market dynamics in the US are very different. This enables much faster growth, it's a much larger addressable market, and at the end of the day, it's a lot more profitable market. As such, Golden Nugget should be valued as a premium to these peers, and in due course I'll share some specific analysis around this point. So now again, this is the point in time in the video where I sound a bit like a broken record again. An investment into GNOG is a long-term, thesis-led investment. If you believe in the legalization of online casino gaming across the US and that will continue, then an investment in one of the leading players in that sector is a good investment. If you don't believe in that fundamental thesis, or you don't have conviction in the ability for the company to deliver that strategy, then this is not something you should be investing into. As a long-term investment, you have to be patient. If you're worrying about small movements in the stock price now, then maybe long-term investing isn't for you. You have to be patient. Wait for it to work its way through the market and for the fair value to be reflected. Wait for the management team to deliver on the strategy further and grow the business further, both in terms of market share and in terms of its financials. We know they don't have a PR team and that they're focused on delivery of the strategy, and those other bits can come later. I've said this again and again, but be patient. If they miss the opportunity to deliver on the strategy, then that in itself is a terrible situation for the company. If that's something you're not comfortable with and you can't get on board with, then you should find some other stocks to invest into. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button. If you're new to the channel and you like investing related content, then hit the subscribe button. Check the Patreon for other exclusive content. And as always, please let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I find it so interesting to hear everyone's opinions, so please get involved. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.